How y'all doing? September, what a time to remember. Now, the question for today is based on a movie I just saw tonight that my friend went to go see after school. It was a good one. So, it was about murder. All right, so it was about murder, but how far would you go for your loved ones? And if your house was haunted, let's say, if your house was haunted and you decided, or you lived there and you were there with the person, you were there, you were there with your loved one for the toughest times. And you see them die in front of you. You see them basically fall off the balcony and drown. Everybody responds differently. How do you think you would respond? And what would you do for your loved ones? Or another question you can answer is, if they were going through pain and suffering and misery for so long, what would you do? Would you... There's no wrong answers. I'm not going to judge you either way, because your thought process is your thought process. So I'm not gonna judge you. Would you A, poison them and push them off the balcony and make them drown? B, would you try to help them as best you can, but they're going crazy and they end up falling off the balcony and drowning? Or C, would you just keep them away from the haunted place altogether? This one is like last night's, where I don't really want to, you know what? Because no matter what I say, you're still going to have your point of view. So don't let me influence your decision. But if it were me, I would pick C. I wouldn't even be in that. I wouldn't even be in that to begin with. I don't understand why people do it. I don't understand why they get stuck in it. Some people, like if you watch the movie The Shining, he ended up watching The Overlook. He was paid to watch The Overlook, and they gave it to him. He didn't realize what it was. He didn't realize it was haunted until after. Because he was supposed to spend a significant amount of time there. So he didn't know that it was going to be that. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have himself. Or if you think about movies where They're tasked with a job of house sitting, and they don't realize that the house is that it's either haunted or there's spooky stuff lurking around that you have to be wary of. And also the fact that you really got to steer clear. You really got to steer clear, because I don't know, it's crazy, because there's a whole lot to deal with in that space. A whole lot to, you gotta work your way through, maneuver. You gotta be aware, or as a matter of fact, or you end up just calling the spirits by doing a seance, or using Ouija boards or something like that, where you literally call on the spirit and you don't close it, so you let the spirit out. You let it out. And what happens is you get haunted until you reverse it, or you do what is needed to be done to get it back in. You close it back. You say their name 3 times and you close it back. But be wary. See, Halloween is around the corner. Halloween is just about a month away from now. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. I promise you, there's a lot more that is sinister out there that we don't understand. The world is a lot more sinister than we would like to admit. So you gotta be careful. But yeah. What would you do for loved ones? What would you do for your loved ones? That's the question. And again, the choices were, would you A, poison them and make them drown? B, nurse them back to health and they end up falling off the balcony and drowning anyways? Or C, would you just not be involved? Or would you just not be there in the first place? You know, I know these seem like silly responses, but, you know, stranger things happen. Life is stranger than fiction. It really is. So you'd be surprised how many people would think this or that, other than what I think. And, you know, I'm not here to judge you based on your response, based on how you think. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to give you the question, give you the options, and you can pick between these options. That's all I do. So, that's it for tonight. I hope you have a good night, and beware of those that lurk inside. Be careful. All right, then ignore that part. Ignore that part. That don't mean nothing. You're going to be all right. You are going to be all right. But watch out for Halloween, though. That's all I'm going to say. You have a good night and peace.